Hey there, and happy Wednesday. Yes, we are in the grateful month of August. August is the time of pause for the cause. When I say we're pausing for the cause for the month of August, we also know that students went back to school last week. Some started last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, throughout the week. Congratulations on this being your first full week of school if you're just started in the middle of last week of August. And for those who started at the beginning of the week, happy full week for last week. Today's topic is going to be unplug the noise, unpack the truth. With August, it is the radical rest and mental clarity month for us. Pausing for the cause. See, hi, my name is Morticia Sherman. I am also known as the unapologetic therapist here in the great state of Texas. Houston's own Morticia Sherman, the unapologetic therapist, licensed professional counselor. I have over 11 plus years in the mental health industry, starting from the clinic base of working in a private institution, of seeing things that most people could not fathom seeing. We think we see a lot in public. You have not seen what we see inside of the hospital formality of it. So today's topic, I have to give thanks and gratitude for all the viewers, listeners who have hung in there with me during this time. We started in October of 2024. We're getting ready to come up on a year. Things are changing. Things are expanding. Things are growing. You are growing with me. I can't wait to celebrate with you. Give me a shout out, like, share, subscribe. Add me to your Facebook page, add me to your YouTube channel, add me to your LinkedIn, also Instagram, TikTok. A lot of things are moving forward. We just got a hold of the fact of being partially nonprofit. So our nonprofit side is called Color Me Stigma Free. Oh my God, I'm so excited about that because the reason of the name is because mental health has no color. Mental health has no barrier. Mental health affects everybody, lottie dottie and everybody. Like my pastor's wife, Dr. Pam, used to say, lottie dottie and everybody. And we've also heard that statement inside of a music song before, back in the, I want to say, maybe 80s, 90s. Lottie dottie, we likes to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody. So that's the mental health side of it. So, for this full hour, you have me, the unapologetic therapist. Also, if you know of someone who wants to get on the couch with Tish and have those conversations, those unapologetic conversations, and to address those unapologetic community concerns when it comes to mental health, reach out to me, DM me. You can also call us. You can go onto our website, www.whyhecan't.com. You can go there. You can send a request to me from there. You can email us at info@whyhecan.com. It's scrolling at the bottom of the page. You can also text us, call us 346-525-4981. The reason being, and we have to tell you our mission of why we are so unapologetic and having these conversations. Our mission is to eradicate the stigma and generational barriers that are being also abused in the community through bridging and reconnecting the gap in the mental health community. To accomplish this goal, we purpose a three-prong approach that includes providing culturally competent care. And what we mean by culturally competent, meaning that the Black and Brown community falls up under the barrier. I mean, we're underneath all the others who seek professional health care, who seek professional mental health care, because we're so used to these cliches that are out there in the community. What happens in the house stays in the house. What happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. You've even heard people say that they were threatened by their predator by saying, if you tell somebody I'm going to kill the people that you love the most. Also, don't nobody care about you, don't nobody want to hear your story, don't nobody love you, just different things that don't just go racially, but also inside of the household, um, and I'll get more into that, but providing culturally competent care, meaning that we are reaching out to the community, to the Black and Brown community, to give you the appropriate care needed. Approach by increasing mental health literacy. Why he can't, and the unapologetic therapist, we do workshops. And in those workshops, we're doing those workshops so we can provide valuable information to the community otherwise that don't know. So you hear that what you don't know won't hurt you is another cliche. What we don't know does hurt us. So stop saying that. Oh, what you don't know won't hurt you. Yes, it does. For lack of knowledge, it does hurt you. If you don't know what's going on in your community when it comes to mental health, if you don't know what's going on that's causing these stigmas, these generational behavior patterns, is going to continue to go generation after generation. I made this statement to an individual that I was coaching, and we talked about generational patterns. And I said, it took my daughter, of course, I've been out of school for over years. I'm just going to say that. But my daughter and I was talking when she had my granddaughter. She said, Mom, if you really want to look at the scientific part of it, the eggs that I carry are eggs from you. The eggs from you are from your mom. The eggs from your mom is from her mom. So 4 generations. So it went from my grandmother to my mother to me to my daughter, and now she has a daughter who's also going to carry that lineage through bearing children when she's ready to bear children, and even being that they have a son, which I hope they do. My family is growing. I really appreciate the fact that my family is growing. Yeah, my family is growing. And I really appreciate that my family is growing. But with that, when we look at generations, how things go from generation to generation to generation. For those of you who are just joining in, thank you again. Please like, share, subscribe. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're on all social media platforms. My team is still working on our stuff for Spotify, Apple, and all podcast platforms. So you don't always have to tune in on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. with me. You can also hear it live on any podcast platform. Also, another great part of what we're doing is we're improving cultural awareness of care. A lot of people don't know what's out there for them when it comes to mental health awareness, mental health wellness, especially if you're a provider, especially if you're a caregiver for someone who has a mental health illness. And believe me, when we say this, we're treating the illness. It's not the person, it's the illness. Just the same as for any type of medical ailment that you have, you're getting treated. The illness is being treated, not you. You're just possessing the illness and it's being treated. So you're thinking, oh my goodness, they're treating me. No, we're treating the illness. We're treating the mental health disorder. And what I want to know from my listeners and from those who are viewing, what is it that you want to know about mostly when it comes to mental health? Do you want to know about the diagnosis? Do you want to know what are the symptoms? Do you want to know where are resources that you need to help a family member or a loved one who is experiencing mental health disorder or mental health illness? I'm going to be going to a lot of events that are happening so I can best prepare you as my listener, as my follower, as a person who I care about within the community, so you can have the proper information and true information, not something that's sugar-coated, watered down, or anything like that. That's not me. I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to sugarcoat or water down anything for you. I want you to ask me the question, and I want to make sure that I give you proper information and the stuff that needs to be said when it comes to being aware. And through that, building the right foundation, all parties, the therapist, myself, the clients, myself, because I'm also a client, um, as individuals and the community can work together on common ground of obtaining rapport and community relationships. I'm all about building relationships. I provide the information, and honestly, I can't help but to say this over and over again. If you're not taking advantage of this hour of power when it comes to conversation with mental health, shame on you. Shame on you. You should be sharing this because otherwise, people are not getting this information. Otherwise, people are not hearing this information. Yeah, there's a lot of podcasts out there, there's a lot of platforms, there are a great deal of information out there. But I'm going to say it in a biblical term. You got to try the spirit by the spirit. So if they're telling you this information, can they actually provide you with sound doctrine? Can they provide you with sound information, based information, results, all of that in what they're saying? I can. I have, and I tell people over and over again, there's not a heaven or hell that I can put you in, nor has there ever been anything anybody has gone through that I have not grown through myself, either experience wise or been around somebody who has indulged in a certain situation or type of behavior or anything of that sort. I have been there, done that, not ashamed to talk about it because I think when you're more relatable to people, people can best understand and know how to ask the proper questions. I'm not just here just to talk. I'm here to help support, to bring awareness, to promote real topics of conversation, real empowerment, and unconditional love. Because who else is going to tell you the truth? We even lie to ourselves sometimes. And I'm going to say this, I give you permission, even though you don't already need it. But you can be walking in the store talking to yourself about whether you're going to buy those bananas or those grapes or those apples and anything, and you're answering those questions to yourself. You're talking to yourself. It's okay. It's okay to respond to yourself. Because I'm going to tell you why it's okay to respond to yourself. It's better because you're actually verbalizing what you're thinking and saying out loud. Now, if you start screaming it above to the top of your lungs, then I have to get you checked out for Tourette's. Sorry. Not apologizing, but you would have to be tested for that because Tourette's is it's a disorder. It's not a bad one, but it's just a person saying something out loud that, and it's like a ticking, an uncontrollable um, expression, a verbal expression, is what that is. So, with this episode today, I'm going to be explaining and focusing on unplugging the noise and unlocking the truth. Unplugging the noise. What is the noise? The lies, the false stories, the false narratives, the things that we see otherwise either on social media or out in public that is not the truth. It's noise in our ear, and it's noise. And I'm going to say it in a visual sense. We're visualizing things that are not factual. And we need to unlock the truth to those things. And in unlocking those truth to those things, I'm going to be very unapologetic in that conversation. When we're talking about stigmas, when we're talking about generational patterns, when we're talking about beliefs, when we're talking about where our mind goes. So when we talk about, last week I talked about silencing the noise. Well, we need to unplug the noise first. We need to find out where the noise, the lies, the misleading, misguiding information that we're getting about mental health and what mental health really is. Just the same as those cliches that we hear, the stigmas that we hear, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. That's a lie. Those are cliches that we learn. Those are pastime folk tales that our ancestors used when they were out there in the picking cotton or in the slave days. They had to do things to, really entertain themselves that were passed down from generation to generation. And it caused other generations to say those same things when you're actually speaking things that are not true and factual about yourself. You know, what happens here stays here. You know, don't tell anybody. If you tell somebody, you know, then they're going to call you a lie. If you tell somebody that I touched you inappropriately, they're not going to believe you. Who do you think they're going to believe? They're going to believe me or you? Or, you know, things of, if I leave this earth, ain't nobody's, I'm gonna say it in a bad way, you know, using bad vocabulary. If I kill myself, nobody's gonna care. That is not true. That is so not true. I say this over and over again. When you do things to you, it don't just affect you. It affects those around you. Like your mom and dad, if they're still alive, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, you know, they will end up missing you and the fact of the impact that you brought into the life and into the family. So don't ever think that you're not ever loved. Don't ever think that you're not ever cared about. Don't ever think, because people are fickle. I'm saying this over and over again. People are fickle. There's only one perfect person, and we've been told that over and over again. And that is not a cliche. That is a fact. That is a clear fact. There is no perfect person in this earth, on this earth, walking this earth, or anything. There was only one perfect person that ever walked this earth. But then I just have to laugh at, if you have not watched the show The Chosen, even with him being a perfect person, he still experienced life the way it was to get to know exactly what we were going to grow through while we were here on this earth. So, when we're talking about silence isn't emptiness, let's unplug the noise. Silence isn't emptiness. It's scared. It's secure. It's sacred. It's a sacred space of healing. So, what if the quiet wasn't something of fear? And that's the thing with our Black and Brown community. We fear all the positive, but we will hone in, talk about, laugh about, engulf in all the negative as if that's the narrative of our life. We will do that. We will go on to all these gossip sites, all these things that are going on, people's lives falling apart before us, which is really not. I'm gonna tell you something. A person's life is never falling apart. It's always falling in place. I have a shirt that says that. I'm not falling apart. I'm falling into place, meaning that I'm falling into the place that I need to grow. That's going to stretch me. That's going to take me to my next level. But a lot of times people go to these social sites and they just sit there and they hone in and they look at people's life and how negative it is and this and the other, and they want to talk about it and they become a gossip blog and this and the other. Well, there we go. There's a noise. What's the positive in that you're getting out of your life? You're seeing people's generational patterns unfold before you daily. Their generational patterns, generational behaviors. Mom did this, dad did that, grandma did this, grandpa did that, auntie done this, uncle done that, cousin done this. Can you change the narrative of that for yourself to make it a positive? Does everything negative have to be associated with you? Can you change the narrative and make that association a positive? Just because cousin Junebug, excuse me, went to prison, I'm just going to say Junebug, went to prison out of a behavior, do you have to do the same? Do your children have to do the same? Do your uncle, do you have to have the same generational behavior? No, you don't. You can change the pattern, change the mindset, break the silence, open up and unplug the noise. Unplug the noise, unplug it. Because right now, the way the world is when it comes to mental health, unapologetically, we have these mufflers in our ears and we're hearing the muffling sound of mental health. But are you really hearing the truth about what's going on? Are you really hearing the truth that is really factual about mental health? It is affecting our culture. It is affecting our race. It is affecting us in ways that because we have our ears plugged and we're not unpacking that and we're not unplugging and we're not hearing the statements that are going on with our children by saying, hey, I don't feel comfortable in this situation. Mom, I need to talk to you because I'm experiencing something. Or dad, I need to talk to you because I'm experiencing something that I never experienced it before. And can you tell me, why am I hearing these noises? Or why am I going to sleep at night and I'm seeing these movement of actions, or this is moving around? And back in the days, it used to be monsters under the bed. Well, no longer monsters under the bed, okay? No longer monsters under the bed, because those monsters under the bed were generational behavior patterns and thought patterns that were passed down for generations. Can we break those? Can we have our kids thinking positive before they go to sleep? Read a good book. Listen to a good story. Talk about positive things. We have to be the ones to unplug the noise and change the narrative for our generations. My grandchildren read at night. My 3 going on 4-year-old granddaughter reads a positive book every night. True enough, they're taking out generational things about Blacks in our stories. But what I do love about this company, and it's called Once Upon a Child, where you can write a book. You can create your own book of some of these companies, and you can go in and change the whole narrative and storyline about your life for your grandchildren, for your children, for your children's children. I know plenty of authors and publishers, as well as myself. I'm a self-published author, and I have things in the works for my grandchildren that I pray that will bless somebody else's child and their grandchildren for generations. When it comes to mental health, when you're not aware, you fall under you fall up under the rug. I'm just going to put it that way. You fall under, you become a particle under that rug that nobody wants to flip over and tell the truth to. I said that, and we'll say it again. We are so up under the rug of life, keeping us dark, and we don't want nobody to flip that rug over to tell us the truth. Well, I'm here to tell you the truth. As long as you stay there, as long as you stay in the filth, as long as you stay underground under everything and not learning the truth and the awareness about what's going on in the Black and brown community, the more generations will fall underneath the thumb of the enemy. So what, you want to learn about money, but have you changed your mindset? Unplug the noise. There are a lot of Black wealth out here in this world. There's a lot of Black wealth, African American, Hispanic, Asian. All cultures have wealth. But to us, wealth is money. When wealth is really not just money, it's knowledge. Are you equipping yourself all the time? I had to ask my sweetheart the other day, what book was he reading? One day we was coming back from Louisiana from seeing my dad. And there's a book called Relentless. I wanted to hear that book because that book talked about a story of Michael Jordan and how he continued to work on himself. It was actually Michael Jordan or probably Kobe, one or the other, but I know it was a basketball athlete. And the fact that he was working out and doing the things he needed to do to not just build wealth on the basketball court, but to build wealth outside of the basketball court, to build wealth in his wisdom, to build wealth in business, to build wealth in understanding and be a powerhouse on his own. He wasn't a power couple, even for Michael Jordan and Juanita, I think that was her name, his wife, you didn't see a lot about her, but the power of the fact of the brand was being built. And it was being built with wisdom. A lot of times we see people on social media, oh, that's a power couple, that's a power couple. But you see in the financial aspect of it. Are you seeing the wealth and wisdom? Are you seeing the wealth and unplugging the noise so the generational behavior patterns can change? They may have came from a low place in life, not having anything, nothing to say that that was their own, and now they're in the spot of saying, I built this with the wisdom of understanding what money really is for and what knowledge is really used and wisdom is really used for in that season. So when we talk about unplugging the noise, have you taken the mufflers out of your ear when it comes to mental health? Are you tuning in to me just to hear me talk? I hope not. Because sometimes I don't even want to hear me talk. I just want to sit there and soak in. Are you tuning in to get knowledge? Are you tuning in to take up on, like in the book of Ruth? Are you gleaning this information so you can share within the community? Probably not. But unapologetically, I say that because if you did, you would like, share, subscribe. That's my segue into that one. When it comes to the world and the demands of constant attention, silence become ridiculed and an act of selfishness is what they would call it. Society is saying that you're selfish when you're wanting to be mental health aware about what's going on. When you're wanting to take upon the fact of self-care and loving yourself internally instead of externally. They want to see you in the makeup and the hair and the glitz and glam. But when it comes to talking about your mental health, they close the door and plug their ears because they don't want to know about mental health. The black and brown community, if I was on here talking about shoes, I'm not going to give name a title to shoes. If I was on here talking about a celebrity or anything like that, and the celebrity was on here, people would tune in. But now that I'm talking about something that is really needed, unplugging the noise about mental health, unpacking the truth about how we're so far behind the lines of getting mental health care and getting the care that we need internally. Because we have a lot of healing to do internally when it comes to the black and brown community. Because why? We've been so suppressed as a race. We've been so suppressed as a culture. We've been so suppressed saying that we're the majority when we're both majority and minority. We're both. There's no clean bloodline at all. There's no one race that's pure at all. So, when we really want to know the truth, are we really willing to listen to the truth? Men are now coming forth about things that has happened to them mentally, but we so in tune with the noise that is going on out here in society. Unplug the noise. Just like you can unplug a plug inside of a jack, unplug that and hear what's really going on out here in our community. I'm only one voice, but I need a choir. I'm only one person, but I need a choir. And I'm going to continue to sing this song over and over again, unapologetically therapizing individuals, giving unapologetic therapy conversation for everyone. I know sometimes I can get to a point where I just go in, but this is one time I'm going in. School has started. Our kids are meeting new people. Our kids are coming across different teachers, coaches, but are you parents involved? Are you really, what happened to the PTO? You know, the parent teacher organization that was out there really advocating for a child's education and learning and hearing the noise that is going on behind closed doors in these households. Yeah, we don't want to take children out of families, but when it comes to their security and their safety, it's CPS really overcrowded with kids that are being abused, or is CPS overcrowded with just kids that are being taken out of homes because nobody wants to get in there and teach the proper way and unpack the truth about what's going on? Because any two ways a parent is abusing a child, or any two ways somebody is abusing a child, you need to step in and find out what abuse did they go through. Because a predator only becomes a predator when they've been predicated on. Did you hear what I said? And I'll say it again. A predator becomes a predator when they've been predicated on. If you've been abused and you don't have an outlet or no one to talk to tell the noise that's been in your head, that's been telling you that you're not good enough, nobody can ever love you, abuse is safe, abuse is not harmful, if you do that to a person, they're not going to tell nobody. If you're constantly verbally, aggressively abusing somebody, telling them that they're not nothing, not worth anything, you're going to kick, the words, those words, those volatile words, those very violent, aggressive words. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Yes, they will. I'm going to say it again. The words that you say that are aggressive and abusive do linger. They do last. And to tell the truth, to unpack the truth, these are conversations that need to be had. Kids are starting school. Students are going to college. Things are happening. I remember when I went to college, I didn't know anything about rape whistles and stuff like that. But when my girls went to college, one in California and one in Massachusetts, they had this thing called a rape whistle. If somebody choking you, how you gonna whistle? Why not unpack the truth and give them the clear understanding, teach them what it looks like, what the signs are. And that's why He Can't has changed the name of Trailblazers in Motion to Color Me Stigma Free. We're still going to do the same thing, which is educating students when they get ready to leave and go off to college, the proper ins and outs of unplugging the noise, knowing the signs, and unpacking the truth. Because if they've never been away from home before, never stayed away from home before, if they've never experienced independence before, do they understand or have the knowledge and the wherewithal for mental health? What are the signs of you having a burnout as a freshman? What are the signs to know that when somebody's being passive aggressive towards you in a conversation, or misleading in a conversation to only veer you off away from everybody, and then things happen such as rape or abuse, or you get inside of a relationship because you never had one before, and she or he are abusing you on campus away from home, and you have nobody to talk to. Yeah, these campuses do have therapists. They do have places that these kids can go to talk to somebody. But if they don't know that, then what? Then they're suffering in silence. That's another thing that I cannot stand and won't stand for it. That's why we have workshops. That's why we have these events for awareness. That's why we are doing the things that we're doing. That's why we have our for-profit and our non-profit. You can also give donations on our website. Become a soil breaker. Become one of our soil breakers to help us get the information out there, to sow seed. And to students who are going to college, new students, do you not understand? I guess I can't say don't understand. Are you not aware of the percentage of suicide that is happening on college campuses? Why they're not talking about it? Because they don't know who to talk to. Why they're not reporting it? Why would I report it when my predator had already told me that they were going to harm me? I'm afraid. I'm afraid to talk about these things. Let's unplug the noise. The noise is the lies that are going on and people being silenced by the lies that are going on out here. And rape is not just happening to girls on college campuses, it's happening to boys too. Let's just be real. What man is going to tell you and come up to you and tell you that he was raped on the college campus? Not by a female. Let's just be real. Let's keep, like I'm gonna say it like I said it the other day. Let's keep it a buck. What young man is gonna go home and tell his parents that he was hanging with the guys, and because they was taunting him and doing these things to him and all this other stuff, and they end up doing something to him sexually? Who's gonna have that conversation? What young man is gonna talk about that? And how he does it, he displaces that shame with anger, and he misplaces the anger and put it in a behavior that caused him to be questionable about his character, because he don't know who to talk to. Because every man he goes, oh man, you dude, ain't nobody. No, dude, you men don't do that, and that's what they're taught. Be a man, stand up, do this, do that. Men don't do this. Men don't, a man don't, a man, what a man don't and what a man won't. If he had the safe space to talk about it and not be ashamed. Because when he becomes ashamed, he end up having guilt. He feels guilty that somebody actually did that to him. And he starts questioning himself. You're still a man. But it was some foolish men. And I'm going to say foolish. Because if that was to happen to them, in most cases it has, their behavior displays something totally different. Almost like a predator after their prey. We got a freshman on campus. He a pretty boy. Or he act like he a pretty boy. He a dark chocolate pretty boy. He's a light-skinned pretty boy. He ain't no man. He probably a mama's boy. Probably all up on his mama, this, that, and other. I'm saying it. I'm being truthful about it. The girls. Oh, don't nobody want her. She thick. She too. Ain't no dude gonna like her. Ain't no. But some of these girls, some of these young ladies are very aware and know what they want. But like I said, a predator will find their prey and prey on them. But we have to equip, we have to educate them. We have to make, especially if our children are going away to college, away from home, away from home. When home has been a place where mom and dad really was not there. Sister or brother probably was like mom or dad. Cousin was probably like sister, brother. And they really had nobody and no strong foundation. So the generational pattern continues. Unplug the noise. Rest is not resistance. Reclaiming our right to pause. Rest is not laziness. Sometimes resting is a reassurance of finding where the truth is and where the lies are. Unplugging the noise, the lies that we've been told. Unpacking the truth. What is really the truth about us? The culture, the race. You hear so much about racism. You hear so much about people making a difference in skin color, people making a difference in hair texture, people making a difference in body shapes. This past summer, we were supposed to be doing something on body dysmorphia. People didn't want to know. We don't want to know the truth, do we? What are we afraid of? What are we truly afraid of? Are we holding on to generational patterns, generational behaviors like a safety blanket? I talked about that in my book, Unconditional Love, One Woman's Journey to Spiritual Freedom. We become stalled like a vehicle in life, and we hold on to things like a safety blanket because we don't want to unpack the truth. We don't want to unplug the noise, the lies, the deceit that we've been told for generations upon generations. We don't want to know the truth, do we? We hear the truth will set us free. Well, will it really set us free? Or will it make us want to question more about what the lies really told us from generation upon generation? Do we really want to unpack the truth about mental health awareness, the resources that are out there? Or is it that because we've been told that mental health is a stigma that goes from generation to generation, from person to person, from mom, dad? Oh, it's hereditary. Not everything is hereditary. It's not. I've seen kids who were born to drug induced parents, parents, drug codependent parents. Um, and these are harsh drugs. And these individuals are so intelligent, so smart. It's a choice. It's a choice to change the narrative of your life. It's a choice. Just the same as you have a choice to put one foot before the other. You have a choice to put one pants leg at a time on. Some people like to put them both on and just jump out the bed and just pull the pants up. You have a choice to put that shirt over your head or button it down. You have a choice to pin your hair up or let it down. Life has choices. And just because your parents were not good influencers, you have a choice to change that narrative. Just because your mom was abusive, do you have to be an abusive mother? Just because your dad was abusive, do you have to be an abusive father? Just because your parents were in the household but never paid attention to anything that you ever did in life, does that have to make you the same? Unplug the noise. Unplug the lies that's been told to you for generation and generation. Unpack the truth. Know who you really are, who you really are. Let's be real about the whole situation. There's an increase in suicide amongst the Black and Brown community. Unreported. Unreported. But what I'm hearing lately is there's been a lot of heart conditions going on. A lot of our Black and Brown community are suffering irregular heart conditions. But do we know the truth behind that? I made this statement a while ago. Before we knew about the brown culture, our Hispanic culture, being farmers and going out there and picking land and and crops and stuff like that. It was the black community out there picking cotton, cornfields, sugar canes, all this other stuff. And if you really go back in the past, I would say that's the better part of our health conditions, because you didn't see our black community dying unless they was being lynched or they were being killed. When it came to health, they grew their crops, they cooked their own food, they did the things like oh man, I talked about my grandmother and the chickens, how she wrung their necks. I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. But if you really go back, they lived a long time. I think my grandmother probably was like 92, 93 on my mom's side. My dad's side, I think my grandmother on this side was in her 90s too when she passed. My grandfather was also in his 90s. I think my mom's dad was the only one that left at a young age because I was 14. That was a man of my heart. When I was 14, probably 14 or 15, when my grandfather passed. But my grandmother cooked from what they grew in the yard. But see, they don't want the truth about that. They don't want that because why? And I'm gonna say it unapologetically. We are the medical guinea pigs. Truth be told, we are the black and brown community are the medical guinea pigs. Uh, Come at me if you want to. Our blood types are very rare. Our blood is very rare. When it comes to even the mental health pharmaceuticology department, come at me if you want to. I don't care. I'm gonna say it unapologetically. There are chemicals inside of those mental health prescriptions that are not good for our blood types at all. And I can name quite a few, but I'm not going to do that. Come to a workshop. Come sit down with me and my cast of colleagues that have no shame of being unapologetic about what's going on out here for the black and brown community. Come sit with us. We'll tell you the truth. You don't have to be a vegetarian. You don't have to be. I say this to my cousin because it starts with a P. I said you got to be a Presbyterian, a Presbyterian, whatever it is. You know, the, eating the Polynesian food or whatever that is. You don't have to be on a Mediterranean diet. You don't have to be on any of these things at all. It's the mere fact of knowing the truth about what your body can handle and what your body cannot handle. Just the same as mental health. Everybody is not schizophrenic. Everybody is not bipolar. Everybody is not schizoaffective. Everybody does not have borderline personality disorder. And everybody has not experienced childhood trauma. But we, as people, our eye gates tantalizes our ear gates that connects with our brain cells. And we believe the lies, the noise, instead of finding out the truth. It's so easy to hear the plugged noise instead of unplugging the noise and unpacking the truth. Some generations are doing that. Some people are doing that. I unapologetically am doing that. I'm unplugging the noise, unplugging the lies that we have been told, generation upon generation. Black man, black woman, Hispanic man, Hispanic woman, Caucasian woman, Caucasian man, Asian woman, Asian man, Pakistani woman, Pakistani man, all cultures. I am unplugging the noise unapologetically and unpacking the truth. As I unpack the truth, I hope that you go on this journey with me because I'm going to unplug your ears to a lot of conversations that needs to be had in order for us to heal. I don't take the statement that the president of the United States made saying making America great. America never was great because it's always plugged our ears from the truth. Now I want to unplug our ears from the truth and unpack the truth to be told when it comes to mental health. As long as they continue to tell you that you have a disorder and you're sitting up there Googleizing yourself, meaning you're analyzing yourself with AI and Google, and Google Chrome and Firefox and Siri and Alexa. I gotta say it real low. Alexa Council. So if you know, technology is paying attention to our conversations. If you heard me just say those two names, my phone just went off and my echo went off. Appreciating the past without feeling obligated to live in it. Move forward unapologetically. You're right, Herb. We have to appreciate the past. And appreciating it is, we have to get back to those things that were really good for us. It's okay to grow your own plants and stuff like that. Don't you say nothing because you already know we tried. Try growing fruits and vegetables. But with that, yeah, you have to move forward. Take what we got from our past and unplugging the noise, the lies behind the scenes, and unpacking the truth so we can decrease this mental health behavior that keeps going on and uncovering the mere reason and the fact behind why our young adolescents, our young groups are killing themselves. It's not behind conversation, it's behind the unknown truth as to why the behavior is what it is. Do we really want the truth? I want the truth. I want the unapologetic, unsugar-coated, getting my face type of truth about mental health and generational behavior patterns. I can tell you a lot about generational patterns that I've encountered throughout generations of my life that I chose not to do. Why? Because it was a lie told to my ancestors. Do I want to continue that pattern? No. Mm-mm. Because if I look at the past and some of those behaviors, like you said, appreciate the past without feeling obligated to live in it. Yeah, appreciate it. But it's not meant for you to continue it, especially if it's a bad behavior. Unplug the noise, unplug the lies, unpack the truth, unplug the lies. Getting clarity, getting the truth with emotional truth. Clarity isn't found in productivity. It is born in honesty, clarity, getting clear, getting the truth is born in honesty. Being honest, being unapologetic. We don't accept that behavior here. No. Slave mentality, get out of it. Stop saying, I'm rich. Well, do you really know what rich really means? Do you really know what wealthy really means? According to society, it's told when you have money, when you have unlimited amounts of money. Do you not know? I'm going to be real unapologetic with this one. Do you not know a lot of people who are rich in finances are the most miserable people? Yeah, I got quiet because I wanted you to know. Why they're miserable? Ask one of them. They'll tell you. It's not money that makes a person happy. Money covers things. It pays bills, yeah, true enough. But it's the wealth of love. It's the wealth of clarity. It's the wealth of knowledge that keeps you happy. You'll find some of the most brokest people in the world, the most happiest people. Go to these, sometimes we say these third world countries are miserable. Go to some of these places of these third world countries, and you will see how happy these people really are. Why? Because they enjoy life. It's not about the money, it's about the wisdom. Yeah, they would like to be able to pay their bills. They would like to be able to be substantially able to cover things and not have a worry in the world. but they also know how to find joy and laughter. And that's one thing. And talking to my daughters and my sons this week, I talk to them pretty much every day, besides one of my sons. But he always tells me, Mom, if you don't hear from me, I'm still good. I'm concerned as a mom because he has a heart condition that's very rare. And I just like to hear from him to know that he's okay. And if you know, I have a military son, I have a daughter in California, I have a daughter here. But in our conversations every day, because we have a group chat, and they share things with me as well as my grandson's mom share things with us. But our wealth is we can sit back and laugh and talk and do things. But the statement was made to me, Mom, we were in our most wealthiest place when we lived like we didn't care because we knew the truth that you loved us enough. We would go to the park, sit at the park, have picnics, ride bikes, just do things of life that was fun and enjoyable. And we took those things to be wealthy places that they're doing now on their own. Yeah, it's good to have money to pay bills and not have to worry. But the true satisfaction in life is having clarity and being honest enough to say, I can truly enjoy life and enjoy life with the people that I love, the people I care about, and make memorable moments. That's what lasts a lifetime. I can do all I can for you. I can buy your love all day long. But in buying your love and in buying who you are, is that really giving me the truth of who you are? Is that really wealth in buying your love? Because every time when you see me, you're expecting me to buy you something. But if I can share memorable moments with you, you will want to come around me more so we can enjoy each other and have laughs and do silly things together. That's what I love. That's me. That's always been me. When I go and see my daughter in California, we're creating memorable moments. That's why you don't see a lot of pictures. That's why you don't see a lot of pictures with me doing a lot of things. Because those are things that I hold within myself to make a memorable moments because I'm impacting the truth about love, unconditional. I'm packing the truth about the fact of being financially wealthy when it comes to love for my children and those around me. And I'm unplugging the noise of the lies that were told to me that I was never enough, that I was going to be, I still think about that teacher. I wish I could remember her name when I went to elementary school in Fifth Ward, Texas. It was Henderson Elementary, back there by the railroad tracks between Lowndes and Lowndes Avenue and stuff. It was back there in the back. And that teacher told my parents that I was going to be mentally retarded. Thank you. If you're still alive. My maiden name is Alfred. If you just so happen to be watching my YouTube channel or my podcast, thank you. Because I was able to unpack the noise, to unplug the noise, the lies that you told me and my parents. Because I was very smart. I knew my ABCs in the 4th grade. And because I didn't want to talk to you when you wanted to give me a test to determine if I was special ed or that I couldn't hear. But I can write and I can read better than a lot of people in my class. So I had to unplug the noise of the lies that I was being told. And I had to unpack the truth. Don't ever take life as a displacement or a bad journey. It's not. A lot of things that may have transpired in your past, you can unplug that noise. You can unplug the lies and find out the truth. They're a part of the journey that you're on now. They're a part of the things that you're seeing. The prayers that your grandmother had prayed over you, the prayers your grandfather had prayed over you, saying that I don't want you to experience the life that they experienced. Not the bad part, but they wanted you to experience the goodness of life. Just like Herb said, appreciate the past without feeling. I like how you said this. Oh, man. Appreciate the past without feeling obligated to live in it. Move forward. Appreciate it. It's a lot to appreciate in that. It's a lot to appreciate in the past. Our past, the black and brown community, the past, we heard the whole narrative, the lies of everything about slaves. But back then, there were more than just slaves, there were wealthy black people. There were very intelligent black people who knew how to read, write, all these things. Great inventors. What are you inventing now? The unapologetic therapist is inventing some ebooks that you're really going to want to get a hold to, especially if you have a loved one or you're experiencing mental health illness. Don't forget, as a matter of fact, DM me, teachers, male and female. If you're watching this right now, share it, please. DM me some teachers with their email addresses so I can send them the application, because we really want to invest in six teachers, 3 male and 3 female. Also, our partners, NAG Mindful Therapy, still a part of what's going on that we got going on here with the unapologetic therapist. We got some things going on. If you're still ready to laugh, you still got time to purchase these tickets for September the 20th. Orleans Bar and Grill, Westlake, Houston, the Virgos Comedy Show. Come laugh with me. Actually, you'll see me there. If you've never met me in person, you'll enjoy the laughter because I enjoy having fun. Come out, purchase your ticket. Doors open at 6, starts at 7. Tickets are $25 to $30 at the door, but you don't want to miss it. Laughter is a great medicine to mental health. And I have a save the date. When I say I have a save the date, when I said that we are a nonprofit organization, if you are a company organization that has not given all your funds out for the year, connect with us. It's a great write-off. You'll be able to write this off. You'll be able to say that you gave to a great cause. Color Me Stigma Free is our nonprofit organization that is out here impacting communities with Wahiki and the unapologetic therapist. Out here eradicating, destigmatizing, breaking down generational barriers, generational strongholds, getting the resources out there. Of course, you know, we had our event in July, the Tonight is Tonight Mental Health Symposium. We are still gearing up for those 2 events again. The For the Love of Basketball and Mental Health will happen February 2026. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are doing that. We're doing it. We are doing it, and we got some great sponsors and everything that's coming along. But also, want to be a part of this one? Save the date, January 24, 2026. Can't Shake Me, Houston's biggest, loudest mental health circle. Can't shake me. You can't shake my mental health. You can't shake me. This is the biggest, loudest mental health circle that is going on. We're going to food, fun, game prizes. You thought that the Tonight is Tonight Mental Health Symposium was something. You're not going to want to miss this. Also, I'm going to also include the information as I get it about the promotional launch that's happening November the 23rd. November. Is it the 23rd or 22nd? I want to make sure I'm saying the correct Saturday date. The 20, I know it's right before Thanksgiving. Just know it's right. It's that 22nd of November. It's that Saturday before Thanksgiving. If you have not given thanks already, if you have not given your donations and whatnot, we are having a yacht party. November the 22nd. We're collaborating with some other individuals. I'm not one that goes on cruises. This yacht is docking off in Kima. I've been on a party yacht before, had fun with a good friend of mine who's also a coach with volleyball. If you're watching this, also for those who are watching and whatnot, I know I'm kind of like going over, but I'm going to post this on social media. Who is the team to watch for volleyball for 2025? I need to know the high schools, the teams that are to watch for volleyball. All my coaches that I know that coach volleyball, all my daughter's best friends and friends who are coaches now at high schools, all the coaches that I know from Channelview to North Shore to Galena Park to Pasadena to Klein to at Cognitive, all of y'all, it's a lot of us. Before volleyball season starts, because we're coming back, Epic 180, volleyball is coming back, but we're not doing competitive. We're doing the other part. We younger girls. We want to build them up so when they're ready to come over there to y'all, they have the right footwork and whatnot. But for those who are in schools, high schools that are in competition right now, I know it's preseason. Let me know where I can come watch a good volleyball game. I'm missing it. I'm missing it. I have been out of the loop for a year. I'm missing it. I need to see some collegiate volleyball before collegiate volleyball starts. Even a college. What college is going? I know UT is there. I know who else? I can go to California and watch it. I'll be watching some of Cal State East Bay. Go Coach Kim, which my daughter's an alumni there. She actually was nominated as one of the great athletes for Cal State East Bay. I'm so excited for her. Go KO. Um, for alumni. For those who know me, know Miss Tish, y'all know I love volleyball. Y'all know how I feel about it. I've been out of the loop for a year. I can't take it anymore. I need to know where can I go and watch some good volleyball besides waiting to go to California to see it. I need to see some Texas volleyball. Send me a DM, invite me to come out. I'll come and talk to the girls about mental health in volleyball if the coaches let me. I'm ready for it. Let's go. Let's get it. 2025, 2025, 2026 club volleyball season. I need to know what club team is on top. I'll come out there and interview the coaches and the girls there. I'm excited. I have a love, and I always have love volleyball. I love it. So this your girl Morticia Sherman, the unapologetic therapist here in the greatest state of Texas, here at Great Houstonian. Let's talk about the unplug, the noise, the lies that are going on out there in society, and unpacking the truth about what's being said about mental health when it comes to the Black and Brown community. Out here eradicating, destigmatizing, and debunking the stigma and the generational patterns that are out there before us. We perish for lack of knowledge, you guys. What we don't know does hurt us. I love you to life. And like I said, when you know better, you do better. And you can respond differently. Have a great Wednesday night.